I'm going to estimate that maybe like half of Elvis's turns as the White Mage have been actually healing the party, and half of Elvis's turns as the White Mage have just been like healing Gloria past max H, healing Adele. I'm still messing them up. Healing Adele past max HP so that she can spam the monk moves more often. I actually really like the monk right now, much more than I thought I would at the beginning of the game, and it does have the drawback of going through a lot, and by that I mean a lot of hit points. All right, so. Okay, I didn't really need to full heal in the menu recently since I just kind of came back to town. I am going to go to the inn and heal off to full just in case I get into a fight with some boss or another at some point. I've got I think 2 levels, maybe a level and a half on where I was the last time I was in town, but all the same, definitely have some better items. It seems like I've been picking up better items on the overworld than I've been buying in the stores, so I've kind of fallen off checking the shops for good equipment and stuff like that, because a lot of the stuff that I see in the shops isn't as good as what I'm finding on the overworld. Alright. First, we gotta do something, and that something is going to be beating up this little random kid, stealing her lunch money in a game of B&D. So, I guess I'm gonna make a point to do this whenever I see them from now on. Now that I sort of know how the game works, let the battle commence. Alright. I am going to play first. I have the sword. I do not have a complete deck on hand 2 or 3, so I guess I'll be just using the same old deck that I've been going with this entire time. Can I reconfigure my decks? I should probably try and do that, because I have picked up a couple cards over the course of the battles. And as this is the Gambler, that's the Gambler. As established, I don't like the Gambler. I'll just plop you out in the middle of the board. Yes, I know. And then I'm really gonna just react to you. Did you not do anything? Oh, there you go. Prince Castor. Reinforce. Strengthens all plant, aquatic, and character cards regardless of affiliation. Alright, so that's just one of the buffing cards that I still don't know what it does, because I still don't really have a good idea of what, like, buffing a card means. Because as far as I know, they all have fixed effects. Okay, that's Dag, Wood Bumstead, and you have 3 dudes on the field. I would like you to not have 3 dudes on the field. Alright, this will give me 1, neutralize 1. So that'll put me ahead 4-2, and maybe not what I want. I can neutralize this one. What did Dag do? I can't remember. Anyway, Red Mage. Once placed, only triggered when you have 3 cards left in your hand. Allows you to play an extra card. Character cards only. One-time effect. Alright, not sure if that's really going to be as beneficial. Oh, you get to play it immediately. Oh, you have 3 cards left. Duh. Lady Emma, Scorched Earth. I remember that one. Alright. And I'm going to... Well, the game is gonna, like, be over within that number of turns anyway. I don't think that really matters anymore. This is going to give me 2, nullify 1. Which would be good. Lady Emma, Scorched Earth. That is just gonna burn you on the next... on 3 turns. But again, the game is gonna be over. Oh, wait a minute. It takes down every time I play a card, not every, like, time we finish a round. Alright, Bernard! Brilliant. You just poisoned yourself. Okay. Let me see if... Can I sandwich you anywhere? This is gonna give me 2 squares back, right? Switches the target of the effect of your opponent's next card from yourself or to your opponent, vice versa. That's confusing. So are you going to... Well, something triggered, but it didn't really change anything because I still got the territory. Vesp. Give me 2, neutralize 1, and it really doesn't matter because the game is over. Alright. Oh, give me 2, neutralize 1, and convert 1. Okay. So I won that one 10-3. I was actually not sure about that one, but you did not have a wholly impressive... Wow, these things are expensive. Causes flanking to affect this card's base squares instead. Okay, so that's like it sacrifices itself so that another flanked card doesn't take a hit, I guess. Not bad. 50 points, I could see that being worth. Caster. I do not see what is so great about that one. Red Mage. That's a free turn. Well, that's just a generic beast card. Sure. Y is the one. Wait, no. Did that? Alright, whatever, who cares. Edit decks. Can I swap out? Like, the Gambler sucks. Let's not make any mistake about that. Can I swap this out for something a little more interesting? Like that guy. That'll give me more territory. This thing kind of sucks. The Sahagin kind of sucks. Alright, well, this is gonna be my deck from now on, for the time being anyway. I've gotten rid of some of the wimpier looking ones. These cards affect more squares, which is probably going to, on average, help me more than it's gonna hinder me, so let's go with that. Even if I don't know what the beast cards do. And feel free to tell me in the comments what the beast cards do, although I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably not going to be posting this video for a long time. Because upload schedules. So I'm probably not gonna see any replies to this until like after it's relevant. Also, the cards with diagonal effects, I feel like I like more because that can like manipulate the board in more interesting ways, but we'll see if that's, I don't know. Yeah, save the decks. I don't know if that's actually going to play out like that. So let me get out of here and let me move on with the game. All healing spells benefit all party members. Okay, so is that like the special effect? By the way, I guess I can run around talking to all the NPCs, because I haven't done that in this town yet. Fairies are terrible. They trick humans into doing bad things. That's why I have to cast them all and get rid of them. Alright, so this is your game's take on the witch trials. Good to know, or I suppose... Oh, literally the Inquisitor. I was just gonna say, or the Spanish Inquisition. But nope, that's, not subtle at all. That's why all the grown-ups say anyway. The Archbishop and the Lord Inquisitor, and my dad, too. You are the NPC I just talked to. You are the one who I did not talk to, No, I meant to talk to you. To the girl with the playing cards. Ma'am says when I was a baby, the snow would sometimes pile up so high that we couldn't leave the house. It's not like that anymore, though. Now I can go out to play whenever I want, even after a proper blizzard. Ma'am says it's the Lord of Dragons we have to thank for that. Thank you, Lord of Dragons and Sea Level Rise. And, all the other lovely, lovely effects of climate change. I guess that wouldn't be Sea Level Rise. That would just be... All these crystals. This game is like one big old metaphor for climate change. Between the glaciers melting, the oceans getting more intense, the storms and all that. The fairies are sworn enemies of the Lord of Dragons. They disguise themselves as humans so that they can live among us in secret. It's our sacred duty to unmask and eliminate them all. Alright, that's cheery. The girl who jumped was my daughter. She was no fairy. She was nothing of the sort. It's all just lies. Who could do something like this to us? Ooh, framing. Cool. The game is just reminding us that that precipice is there and that someone just totally jumped off it. And that's a bit of a problem. It's probably going to be the focus of What Are We in? Chapter 4. Rheimdall is protected by the Lord of Dragons. That's why no one's been able to conquer us. Or maybe just because nobody's foolish enough to try and, like, invade a country that's constantly snowing and, like, built on literal cliffsides like this. And as long as we worship him faithfully and do everything he says, he'll carry on protecting us. And, you know they're serious because they capitalize the H in the object pronouns. No one's ever returned after jumping into the jaws of judgment, you know. I mean, of course they haven't. That's the whole... Crikey, did I say that out loud? I didn't say anything, nothing, and definitely nothing about judgments. Alright. Sorry, have I seen the Lord of Dragons? Of course not. No one has. Even the Archbishop only hears him. I thought everyone knew that. You guys... Alright, so there are no more NPCs on here, at least none who I can talk to. There are some NPCs who I just can't talk to. Hi, how are you doing? Goodbye. And, this is a fairly big town. No, that is not Anyhow. That is Gloria, who's just dressed up as Anyhow. That's weird. The so-called judgment was an execution in all but name. Who could have convinced these people of merit? What could have convinced these people of merit? Could the fire crystal be involved somehow? We must do what we can to find out. Okay, You are a vendor. I am not interested in vending right now. Okay? I don't even know how much money I have. There are 3 treasure chests to find. There are some NPCs and a doggo. Can you pet the dog? You cannot pet the dog. Alright, this game just got bumped down an entire letter grade as far as I'm concerned. Living in a climate like this is hard, harder than you can imagine, but no matter how cold it gets, there will always be a fire in my heart. As long as my darling dog is here with me, that fire is never going out. Okay, never mind, the letter grade's restored. Ore, wood, game, good soil. Rhymedoll's got a lot going for it resource-wise. Good thing, too. Otherwise, I'd have no reason at all to live out here in the freezing cold. Well, no reason apart from my dear old ma'am, of course. Alright, you go and pet your dog. Did I talk to you yet? I don't think I did. The mountains north of town are sacred. The Lord of Dragons lives up there in a place called Serpent's Grotto. That's what they say, anyway. No one goes up there, see. There's nothing but snow and ice and horrible monsters. Given the theming of this area, every time someone says the word dragon, I automatically think like Dagon, from the Elder Scrolls, the Daedric Prince of, like, being an asshole or whatever. I can't keep all the Daedric Princes straight. There's like, Molag Bal, who's Domination, there's Namina, who's, like, Decay, there's Vermina, who's, Nightmares, and all the other ones are just sort of, like, there, generally making a nuisance of themselves. I worship the Lord of Dagon, of course I do, but you know what? Let's go with that. This is going to be super confusing to anyone who's watching this after, like, this video, but it works out. I worship Lord Dagon. That explains a lot about this town, you know. Anyway, I don't ask him to help me with my work like some people. A blacksmith's got to take responsibility for his own products, that's what I believe. If they're not up to scratch, then it's up to me to get better at my job. If you feel the need to start praying every time you mess up, then blacksmithing's probably not the game for you. Yeah, it's a bit of a high-stakes profession, given all the molten metal and whatnot. And I somehow do not see a Lord of Daedric Princes coming to your rescue if you accidentally stick your hand in, like, 700 degrees Celsius molten iron. Can I talk to you? There we go. This isn't the Lord Dagon's will. He wouldn't want anything to happen. He wouldn't want anything to do with what's been happening. We have to put a stop to it. Oh, if you've ever played the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, miss, I think you might see things a little bit differently. Anyway, that joke is not gonna sound nearly as funny 5 minutes from now. Alright, there is a treasure chest. Okay, whoever's stuff this is, it's mine now. That is a snug scarf. That's probably going to grant me, like, immunity to ice or something. And that is another treasure chest, which is going to contain a light talisman. We could use some of those in this town. You know what? You guys can keep it. Not really. There's no way to put items back in this game, is there? Okay. This is a big place. Like, Savalon wasn't exactly small either. Wiswold wasn't big. Halcyonia wasn't big, but this is a big place. And it doesn't help that, running around, it's rather zigging and zagging all up and down the cliffs. My dog was taking a nap. She just stood up, walked in a very deliberate circle, and then sat right back down. She's looking at me as I'm talking about her as if, like, I said something wrong. Who understands dogs? If you worry, just wait here. I'll be happy to go and give that so-called priest a piece of my mind alone. Oh, that's Adele. I thought that was an NPC. Yep, I was gonna say, that sounds like something Adele would say. That doesn't sound like something someone who's living here would say. Ooh, very nice. I approve of your architecture in these parts. Let's see, there is one more treasure chest left to find. I do not know where it is. It looks like there's probably going to be... Can I go through here? I can go through here. I'll talk to you all in a minute. This is probably where the plot's going to take me soon. We're just getting things ready for the next judgment. No one's allowed through for the moment. Sorry. Alright, that's boring. Do you have space for my... What am I up to now? 10, 11, 12 polar bears, 2 of those demon things, 3 or 4 minotaurs, and whatever else I've caught while I was out and about. Do I have a list of all of the monsters I have in my possession right now? No, this is a Pokedex. which I'm not super interested in filling in. I don't... Like, can I view the status of the Beastmaster or anything like that in here? I don't think so. It's only something you can see in combat. Well, you wait right there. I'll be back shortly, I'm sure. The judgments are a matter for believers alone. I advise you to keep your opinions to yourself. Alright. We'll see who's keeping their opinions to themselves in several hours of game time. The judgments may be something of a blunt instrument. That's putting it mildly. But how else are we supposed to rid ourselves of the fairy menace? Yeah, accelerationism. If you just kill everyone, then nobody can be a fairy, because there's nobody left. So nobody can be possessed by fairies. That makes sense. That's how we solve all our problems. I just went on video saying that. On record. Bishop Helio was the one who proposed the judgments. Archbishop Dominic gave them the approval. Then gave them his official seal of approval. Okay, so we know who to blame at least. The first one took place over a decade ago now. The suspect was a young man by the name of Will. He was accused of consorting with fairies in the Wayward Woods that night. And in light of the fact that he did not return from his leap into the jaws of judgment, it would seem that the accusations were well-founded. Alright. Logically sound, built on a faulty premise. I don't think that's how any of this works. Alright, did I talk to you yet? Lord Dagon, watch over us. We are but wretched sinners. Nonetheless, we pray for your protection. Please, rid us of the fairy menace. See, the worst part about this is that I know perfectly well that this is a story we've heard periodically in actual real-life history. Maybe not as on the nose as this, but, like, we make jokes about the witch trials and the Inquisition and all that, but that's basically what this was. Alright, and like, let's not even begin discussing the actual human sacrifices which have taken place at various places throughout the world. There's a beautiful frozen lake up this way. The local cemetery is right by the shore. I'm sure it's not very full because everyone who dies seems to do so by being chucked off a mountain instead of, you know, actually dying. It's where Lord Dagon's true believers are laid to rest. What happens to the people we subjected to the Lord's torment, on the other hand, is anyone's guess. Well, I take it nobody's bothered to find out, and I take it that I probably don't want to really go down and look either, honestly, at this point. After you've been doing this for a solid 10 years straight. Feeling a little bit chilly there, boy. Well, count yourself lucky. It used to be a whole lot colder around by here. And there was a whole lot more snow to boot. But with the guidance of the Archbishop, we played to the Lord of Dragons. Fine, I'll start calling him that now. And sure enough, things started to warm up. As if he was right about that, I'd say there's nothing he can be wrong about. Okay, so that is a sample size of exactly 1. I'm seeing a theme here that we're seeing a lot of correlation implies causation. More so than anything else.
Welcome, friends, to this, the house of our Lord.
Yeah, thanks. Now, do you want to tell us about that execution back there?
This is how it appeared to you, who come to us from afar? No, friend. What you witnessed was the purest expression of belief.
Belief? You guys worship the Lord of Dragons, right?
Ah, so you know a little of our customs. That we are able to dwell here, in the heart of the snows, amid the endless winter. All is thanks to his draconic majesty.
Oh, and that woman jumping? That was thanks to him too?
No, that was an act of our sister's choosing. She wished to prove herself innocent of being that which offends our Lord more than all else. A member of the accursed race of fairies.
But how would throwing oneself to one's doom prove anything?
As those who know of fairy kind will tell you, these devious creatures are wont to hide their wings. A fairy falling from a great height would have no choice but to utilize them in order to save itself, and in so doing, reveal its true nature.
And if the one jumping turns out not to be a fairy, no one could survive a fall like that.
Those whose faith is pure need not fear. Our Lord and Master shall see to it that they are saved.
But that's insane.
I warn you, young man. I will suffer you to speak ill of the Great One but once.
Look, maybe we should all calm down a little.
You really think that's what your lord wants?
Ugh, don't you start.
You think rooting out supposed fairies is what he wants you wasting your time on?
You doubt the truth of his word, child? For that is what it is. The word of the Master. I, and I alone, hear him. It is to his most trusted servant that he deigns to speak. And true faith is rewarded with miracles. Have my long years of prayer not seen the bitter cold of this land lifted at long last?
Come now. I think we all know that it was another power that thawed the frosts.
And what do you mean by that?
Precisely what I say.
That will be enough for today, I think. You are encouraged to visit me here again whenever you so choose, of course. All are welcome in the house of the Lord.
Can I stab him? He's old. I'm sure I can make it look like an accident.
What was all that about, Adele? Talk about out of character.
Ellis, I don't know. I think screaming at the Archbishop is very in character for Adele.
Useful, at least.
It did?
He said that Rheimdall's warming was the result of his prayers. But he didn't say it was the Lord of Dragons who actually made it happen. Doesn't that seem a little strange? Given that, and the fact that he refused to give a straight answer to my other question, I'd say we may have found the fire crystal.
Are you the travelers who dare call the Archbishop's word into question? Well, he might have let you get away with it, but Gladys of the Dragon Guard certainly isn't about to. You're fairies, aren't you?
Huh? Why would you think that?
Well, the fact that you doubt the value of the Lord's judgment, for starters. I've got a good mind to make you take a little leap of faith yourselves.
Enough, Gladys. Allow me to introduce myself. Helio, Chief Inquisitor to the Archbishop, at your service. Please, you must forgive dear Gladys. She can be a little overzealous in the execution of our duties.
But, there is nothing to apologize for. But, if you don't mind me asking, what are these duties?
We are charged with seeking out the detestable agents of fairy kind wheresoever they might lurk, and submitting them to holy judgment. In pursuit of which purpose, we make it our business to establish dialogue with the people of the town and with visitors such as yourselves. We shall pray for your safety on your onward journey. Lord of Dragons, watch over us all.
I've got my eye on you lot. Put one foot out of line, and I'll come down on you like a ton of bricks.
Crikey. Between those two and the Archbishop, this place has got its fair share of unsavoury characters, eh?
Right, that's it. You're listening to me this time.
Huh? What is it?
Dad asked me to come and find you. That's the reason I left home in the first place. Before I smelt the smell.
Gwydion sent you? How come?
Who's Gwydion?
He's Gwilym's father. You know the Lord of Dragons everyone keeps talking about? That's him.
What? He's real? And you're pals with him?
I wouldn't say pals exactly, but I know him, yeah. So, what else did he say?
He wants you to come to the Serpent's Grotto.
Oh, why didn't you say so earlier?
Because you were too busy shoving me in your bag!
Oh.
And it's quite comfy in there, so I might have been resting a bit in between trying to tell you.
Boy, Gwilyn is the most relatable character in this entire game.
Go pay him a visit. You guys are coming too, right?
It's north of town. Can't miss it. Come on.